Good evening, Raider Nation. This is RJ coming at you live from the Wright State Esports Center, where your Wright State Raiders are getting set to take on the Chico Wildcats in a best-of-3 Valorant match to keep themselves alive in the national playoffs. I am joined, of course, as always, by Jabub. And Chico, in this case, is for the California State University Chico branch, but that's a mouthful, so we're just going to call them the Chico Wildcats, as long as that's okay with you. Your Wright State Raiders are getting started here on Breeze. We were having some issues with the... Oh, never mind. We do have the map ticker up to date in your upper left-hand corner, and the Raiders will be starting on their map pick. It's a familiar sight for them. It's Breeze, and if it's anything like their last few outings, we're in for a good one here, Jabub.
Yeah, definitely. Last time, yesterday, I mean, we haven't had a game guys back-to-back. I can actually say yesterday. I mean, Summer went big. I believe he had 29 kills, and Topaz had at least 22 kills. I mean, they were the ones that carried them through in the end. Reminder, also yesterday, Tubby played really well. But as we see here, they're not going to be going up against that double duelist comp anymore, as Chico's opted for a single duelist, but still has that double controller. It's just, from last time they weren't facing an Astra, they were facing, I think it was an Omen, I don't remember.
That sounds correct.
Yeah, I think it was an Omen, but now, I mean, it's kind of a similar comp, other than it's now single duelist for the Chamber, so, instead of the Phoenix. So they don't have to deal with the Phoenix anymore, this map, but Raiders are stuck with their same comp, and...
Go.
Yeah, they start on the attacking side.
Yep, no surprises here for the Raiders. And they're lining up for an all-out B-site crash here to open things up on the pistol round. I believe they won both of the pistols on their last time on this map. And it's just the Wildcats Astra player defending the B site as the rest of them look to swarm mid. Their Kovac on mid might be able to get a good angle here on the CS Leaf, but CS Leaf gets the better of them to open things up here tonight. They swarm onto the site, and Harsh is suppressed here. But the Raiders aren't sure of his position here in the smoke, but that will not prevent them from getting the spike down cleanly. Harsh still in the back of the site, and he's ready to punish the Raiders by getting one, but Tubby will trade one back, and they will not last long there. Wrench looking to wrap around, but can't come up with much of anything. It's exactly what we expect to see for the Raiders here in the opening pistol round on Breeze.
Yeah, the Raiders dominant with their pistols last time out on Breeze, like you said, 2-0, and we're back with another one as the Raiders start it early with a 1-0 on pistols. See if that continues, and CS Leaf with 2. I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, it looks like they're gonna farm ults for that null command for Tubby to go into sight, as he already has 3 orbs already. See if he gets a 4th or a 5th even here with the bomb plant.
Topaz stares down a whole column of 3 Wildcats, but comes away the victor. Was able to get some additional chip damage onto their Sova. Wrench will jump through the wall. We'll get some damage down, but it'll cost him his life. Soka, the Viper player, in the util here, trying to wait for the correct timing to try and get things back in the Wildcats' favor, but Wright State advancing on this A site. 2 Wildcat defenders have looped around, but that number has been cut in half already with Tubby going for the plant, and Harsh gets the last of his HP taken. It's just Kovac against the world, and the world will come crumbling down on him as the Raiders flawless in round 2.
Yeah, again, like I said, Tubby got two orbs there for the plant and a kill onto Chico, but I do want to point out that Now it's Chico's gun round. We have a little bit of an odd setup going over here. The Viper is playing A. You don't really see that much too often, as the Viper usually opts to play B, like what Summer does. But the Viper has opted to play A this time and leave the Astra alone on this B site.
And similar like what we saw to the opening pistol round, the B site is in the sights of the Raiders with only Harsh to defend. He hasn't been able to spy, and he heads out, but he does spot Topaz there. He knows the assault is coming, just backing off as Wright State starts to move in. It is Kovac doubling the amount of kills that the Wildcats have so far, but it is traded out by Wright State. The spike is down B, and the rotation back to counter is slow. The shock dart is aimed towards the way of window, but Wrench is taken out for his efforts. Riley on site does get 2 stuns down and will take 2 for himself, but CS Leaf finds an answer. And with Topaz finding Riley, it's all up to Sokka. He's run out of time here. He's split between the two Wright State offensive members. And that's round number 3 for Wright State.
Yeah, another POTUS converted from Wright State, something they've done well very much this season. As you look at Topaz, he's back to what he did the first match day of the semester, where he isn't tying 4-0, joined by CS Leaf with the same KD of 4-0-1. I mean, that's a big run by CS Leaf, staying in main, getting a couple picks with the Bulldog, and not letting them retake. And now Chico here with Sheriffs, just a lot of pistols.
And Wright State continue to flip-flop back and forth between the two sites, rushing A this time with the full force of their team comp. Window swoops in to take out Riley. Tubby will get the plant down. As everyone from B rotates over, it's just Sokka currently on site, and he did get hit by the KO suppression. Just looking with a shotgun, waiting for the rest of the Wildcats to come to his aid. But so far, the Chico Wildcats are not accomplishing much in the retake. The spike is already starting to tick faster here. Just marching through the util. Gotta make their move soon. But Topaz takes out Sokka. Kovac can find 1 in trade, but that's gonna be all she wrote, even if they do get any extra kills here. They will find 1, but the rest of the team will be taken down by the spike. Another relatively clean effort from the Raiders to keep things moving.
A great clean round. Topaz stays alive for another round, and Tubby with the null command so quickly early in the round. By round 4, the 8-orb KO is put into play, and it was just an easy sight take. And Chico, with not the weaponry you need, just got ran over. But Tubby's already back to 3 orbs right after the ult. So I mean, Wright State are really doing well investing these ults into these rounds.
Tubby spots Riley, and Riley has to retreat. Trying to push towards the entrance of A site, but Wright State might be going for a 2-pronged offensive here. Opening trade comes out from and onto Riley. And that will slow down the offensive a little bit, but Kovac has a good angle from mid to find 2. And he escapes with just a hair of HP. Wright State have half the manpower of the Wildcats at the moment. They're coming through mid where Kovac is still waiting. And he will have Sokka's support from across the way to try and pincer what remains of Wright State. They will give up their back to Kovac. He's up to 3. Now CS Leaf is all alone trying to make something happen. We'll find 1, but we'll find no more. The Wildcats are on the board.
That good containment from Chico. It's just that A main position could not get out. The early aggression with Tubby made them kind of back up and play towards that mid aggression, and Kovac getting so many kills in that round in mid. I believe got 3, just not letting them pass into that mid presence that the Raiders are so good at taking. And now we see the tour de force come out from Kovac due to that. And this will be deadly for the Raiders if he goes mid with this. I mean, Summer might be in trouble.
Kovac already busting out the tour de force. Riley trying to stand watch here at the end of stage A. The tour de force will be used successfully to find CS Leaf, only his second death so far this map. Now Wright State are down a man. Summer knows that Kovac is still there in mid, but not able to find a good angle. The rotation seems to be coming back towards A, where Riley has been standing unwavered. He does get flashed away. Window dashing through, but Riley is back in safety, but Summer jumps through. Will give his own life to make the play, but that's a trade to even things out, but Wrench will double up, finding Tubby.
Down A.
Spike is down A. Wright State down to their final member, and Topaz will be taken care of. It's a 3K for Wrench and a second round for Chico.
Yeah, the Raiders didn't really clear Wrench well enough in that back site. They didn't really take that much control, and Chico knew that, so they just had Riley still in that A line the whole round, unwavered, just didn't move, and then the Raiders didn't have the utility to clear out Wrench, and Wrench was peeking for free through that wall while Saka was on the backup for it, but the Kovac tour de force pick in mid early round really settled it, as the Raiders could not push that mid.
Wright State had A site in their sights, but now looking for B site as Kovac stays deadly with that op. Wright State does make the move into B site, but they have not cleared Harsh. He'll find 2 before CS Leaf will find his head, but Summer able to even the odds up slightly, but they still got to get that spike down. He's trying to find Riley, but Sokka's got the angle. CS Leaf will eventually find the kill onto Riley, but that spike still has not been planted. He's got time to do so, but Kovac, another one with the op, and the Wildcats are within 1 after the white-hot start from the Raiders.
Yeah, Kovac, couple good rounds in a row with just that op and the tour de force combined. I mean, basically a pocket op, and the Raiders need to find out a way to flash him off these angles, or it's going to keep getting deadly. Kovac is getting so much free space with his op, and the Raiders can't stop him. So I think the Raiders need to find up a game plan to find out how to deal with this operator, but going the round with 5 ults, we'll see what they do with them.
Wright State initially might have been thinking that it's going to be an easy one, but Riley shows exactly why this one won't be as easy as initially believed in those first 4 rounds. We're already down a man. Suppression does come out, but Wrench still finds another kill. Topaz will find 1 in trade, and CS Leaf able to swoop around, but State still down a man with the spike planted. But the Hunter's Fury comes down, trying to find them. He will find 1, looking for 2. Find that rock, but Tubby is gonna flash 1 away before he could find the kill to his back. Tubby finds 2 and triples up for the clutch. Just when the map was starting to get back in the favor of the Wildcats, Tubby slams the door to double the Wright State lead.
What a clutch from Tubby. Hit once from the Sova ult, from Wrench, from the Hunter's Fury. They knew where he was, and they couldn't stop him. It ends with like 7 HP on the round and gets 3. Great clutch by Tubby. Raiders going to that bomb plant with a 2v4 and ends up with the round.
Now the ult advantage is equal. The KO ult and the Omen teleport were used. But Viper's Pit is online for both teams as CS Leaf finds the first opening kill that the Raiders haven't had in a while, but Harsh is good at intel as to the two members advancing on to B, but Riley and the rest of the Wildcats start to tip things back in their favor. Wright State down a man, though Wrench is down to just a sliver of HP. Neon wall goes up.
Tried to block that chamber trip there, but it was spot out, and yeah.
Riley and Wrench able to deal with the rest of the Raiders. That'll be an easy defuse for them, and Chico's back within one.
Yeah, I do like what Riley tried to do there. It didn't work, but in the end they won the round. Tried to wall off the chamber trip to mask his presence, but he didn't go far enough, and it got him anyways. But I do want to talk about Harsh on that round, just staying in that site, being an absolute nuisance, and then there's a couple unfortunate whiffs from Wright State just to get Chico back into that round, and yeah, I mean, you're gonna have a kind of not a great buy coming in from the Raiders as Topaz pops his tour de force and Window with the knives.
Window with the knives, and if they can get a good plant down, their team healthy enough. Well, they tried to get onto that pillar, but he'll just run in and shove a knife straight into the chest of Harsh.
Summer's Viper Pit is invested on site.
Yeah, you got a good opening kill. You got a good chance to put up a good plant here, but Wrench evens things out. Tour de Force also popped by Topaz, but does not have a great angle. But Summer uses the Judge to find one. Is traded out, but Tubby and CS Leaf keep things moving. It's all down to Saka with the spike counting down. He's got 3 Raiders in front of him. And they're all just retreating to give Topaz the perfect angle he needs to claim the round with a tour de force. A lot of ults were invested, but Wright State get the thrifty.
Yeah, crazy that if personally as a player, I don't really like to invest ults in a thrifty round, but they did invest at the right times. I can't complain for that. I mean, I get the tour de force and the knives. You don't really have the gun economy, but the Viper's Pit was pretty bold. If you lose that round, that's a lot of snowball to Chico's way, and they convert on it. It's a great Viper's Pit to close out the round.
Now Tubby found the last orb he needed to get his null command online. Wright State have yet to make any decisive moves as to where this might open up, and the Astra was getting a little brave there with a push out of B site, but backs away off of it. Wright State have 3 members towards B. Kovac, armed with a shotgun, might be a perfect position to try and break this up. But Topaz swings right into him after the suppression. Now Wright State moving on to B. The Viper's Pit, meanwhile, was used on A site, but Riley tips things back in favor to nobody. Things are equal now, but 2 members of the Wildcats, of the Wright State Raiders, excuse me, are on low HP. Riley deals with 1, but the rest of the team starts to lose in the midst of all of that util. Tubby finds 1, trying to double up, cannot against Sokka's pistol. It's going to be a 1v1 versus Sokka and CS Leaf with the spike down. Sokka does grab a rifle. CS Leaf is ready for him. Wright State will have the lead going into the half. The question is, by how much? Yeah,
one more round till the half, and Great round by the Raiders. CS Leaf with the clutch. He's going off today 12-5. Seems like a new player. Every map is getting top frag in these last couple matches. And this time it's CS Leaf's. It's CS Leaf's time. He's fragging out.
It's all about who's hot on any given day. And it's been a while since we've seen CS Leaf that far up, so we're happy for him. Riley, armed with an Odin, just spraying down into nothing, and Window will dash right beside him. Sokka already chipped down the low HP. CS Leaf finds the timing. Staying white hot. 2-man advantage is chipped down to a 1-man advantage after Kovac finds Summer. Back towards mid.
I don't know if Kovac was up Topaz this close.
He's pushed in really deep, but seeing that util will cause him to rotate away. Still 3 members of Wright State guarding the spike as they look to have double the score going in of their opponents going into the round change. Now it's all down to Wrench to try and deny that. He'll find 1, he'll find 2, but he is down to very little HP. With Topaz still up, he's just gonna simply force his hand and take him down. It's an 8-4 offensive half for Wright State.
Awesome round. Awesome round by CS League. After that first kill, you see him run up past the smoke. He's playing very confident right now, trying to entry even before window and just run it down because he's feeling hot. And I don't blame him. He's feeling hot. And that might cost him in the future if he gets too aggressive on this defensive half. But, I mean, he's shooting. And if he wants to keep it up, I mean, he's feeling confident about it. Now, as the Raiders head into this defensive half, we have Topaz looking like he's going to get some action here in mid.
We all know that mid is his favorite area, but he does seem to be backing off just slightly, but he is keeping the angle. Does see Riley there, but doesn't know about Wrench. Wrench has been suppressed, however. Does have to pop the util to continue the advance. And now Window might have the perfect timing, but not perfect enough as Riley wins the 1v1, taking him out of mid. Now with the Wildcats offensive coming into a sight, Riley's just waving his knife around, trying to find Topaz. Will not, but Kovac has his back. Wright State down to 2 members with the spike down, but Tubby finds Harsh, and he's got Summer to back him up as they try and disrupt this. Sokka gives them an angle, and Kovac is stuck reloading, but they can't find the kill, and Wrench gets them from behind.
If you're not a good shot today, don't worry.
That's the opening pistol. That's the opening pistol round for the second half, going to the Wildcats.
Yeah, 1-1 now on pistols, and unfortunately Summer couldn't do it again. A 4K with the Ghost to clutch it out. I mean, it was pretty close. It was down to a 1v1 with Tubby, and it just wasn't for the Raiders this round. But looks like CS Leaf's gonna get a lot of presence here in this A main as Riley and Wrench take this space.
Running right at him, he will get spotted out by the drone. He has to retreat towards safety.
Go, go, go.
Viper wall goes up. Should let the Wildcats rotate onto the site here. Riley knows someone's on the other side of that box, but
planted.
The sprays won't find anybody. Spike is sent down. And neither team aggressive here, but Window steps out, does find Riley, but Kovac stays good with those snipers, and Wrench finds 2 after the goes awry for them. And just like how the first half opened for Wright State, they opened with a pistol round win and a flawless run in the next one, and the Wildcats mirror them here on the start to their attack.
Yeah, that late lurk from Kovac just to be patient in mid for that whole time with the outlaw and waited for Summer to get that pick that just kind of blew up the Raiders' retake, because you can't really retake if you don't even... You have a guy mid, you have them all swarming site. It's really impossible, but... Yeah, let's see if Wrench can get this round for Chico. Or can Summer hold on to that B site as they actually go to take this mid press?
Kovac, again, with those snipers. We'll find Tubby and Riley. Only armed with a pistol, but that's all he needs to get window.
Here.
But CS
Spike
Leaf and
down
Topaz
mid.
get things back and more. All of a sudden, it's all down to Kovac with that outlaw. Against 3 Raiders with the spike out of his hands and being puppy guarded by Wright State. He's just going to have to find a corner here and try to see if he can get a good angle down. Those get swallowed up by the util. He's about to swing into a stack of 2. Wright State, after dropping the initial 2, get back in the driver's seat here. 9-6 is your new Wright State lead.
Yeah, I like what Chico did the early round, get a couple picks, get that mid presence, but I think they overspread. Riley was in the spawn. They were pretty spread out, just playing for ones, and Summer, I mean, the Wright State just collapsed on them from all different angles because they're all split up and couldn't trade for each other, and that ultimately led for a Raiders round.
Looking like another A site push. I don't think they've pushed B yet at all, have they? Maybe once?
No, I don't think they have yet. They've just been heavy on this mid presence and A.
Yeah, another 2-sided offensive, but Topaz takes 1 off of the party through mid. Kovac will things back equal, and Riley in their favor, but he will swing directly into the hands of Tubby. Tubby seems to know there's somebody in that util, but Kovac gets the better of him. It's a man advantage for Chico, and Saka will put to rest any hopes of Wright State coming back in that one. The A-side offensive works out for him this time.
Yeah, I mean, they have a really good A-style comp with that double smoke, especially with Astra and Harsh. You can clear these corners out on A-side pretty well, and you have a duelist like Riley who just goes in with that Neon with the backup U2 of Wrench, and it's really hard to defend that A site, but as I say that, they finally go B for the first time. Have a chamber trip towards that A to prevent an A push, but it's all down to kind of Summer to hold the site.
Yeah, Summer was getting bored over here. Nobody was coming to visit him.
No cookies.
No Girl Scout cookies for Summer until possibly this round. The drone is sent through, but is not inspiring a whole lot of confidence. Summer's already gotten some chip damage down onto Riley. And they're going to try their luck to push the spike through mid. Potentially get another angle of attack onto that B site. It's just Topaz, and he doesn't have a good angle at all to try and shut that down, especially when Kovac looks behind him and takes him out. But now the rotation is going to go through that passage towards A as Wright State dash in that direction. They don't know about Tubby behind the wall with a shotgun, but Riley will prevent Wright State getting any momentum here.
30 seconds
Spike
left.
should be able to get planted down here. Maybe, yeah, we'll get planted
Spike
down,
planted.
but Summer will make his presence felt. There's 2 stacked up in that passage from A to mid, but Summer's dealing with it relatively easily, but he's out without cover in a 1v1. Has chunked down a lot of Harsh's HP. But Spike is down. He's going to have to make a move here. Harsh doesn't have an immediate angle. Summer will be able to at least get this halfway. Spike is starting to tick, and Summer with the 4K. We've been waiting this map for a play like that out of Summer. And he comes through big with a 4K and the 1v1 win to maintain Wright State's 3-round lead.
Yeah, great patience by Summer. Just to wait out the Astra, you two. I mean, you got time to do it, but I was kind of confused and Harsh as the bomb wasn't planted for Harsh at all, and kind of took a lot of time. Summer could have just defused right away also, but Summer with just the patience and enough time to just sit back and wait for the push.
Wright State do pop the Viper's Pit on B. Not sure why. It's not like the Wildcats are interested in pushing that side at all. But we do have window in mid. Might be able to get a good pincer attack with people caught in that hallway. But Wrench gives them a clean way in of taking out CS, Leaf, and Window. Topaz and Tubby, though, will equalize. Tubby had a good look to try and get two there. Only gets one before going down. Man advantage is Chico's as Wrench goes for the plant, and Topaz walks right into the tour de force from Kovac. Summer will rotate over from the B site. The Astra Wall is up for the Wildcats. They have invested at least 2 ults into this round. Summer's in a 1v3, and you must know that the rest of the remaining Wildcats are in that area that he's looking at right now, but with them stacked up like that, he must know he's got no chance of getting a defuse there. He's just going to try and get away here to save the rifle and maintain the economy for the Raiders.
Yeah, this has been a pretty back and forth game, pretty much. Other than the first 4 rounds of the map, it's been back and forth ever since. And the Raiders tend to do well in these sort of games where they go back and forth, but they usually end on top, as they usually are pretty good on this map in overtime or clutch situations, as we've had, what, a 13-11 and an overtime game the last 2 Breeze games, but they still end pretty well, as Topaz does pop the tour de force, though, in mid.
It was the one super impactful ult they have. They also have CS Leaf's Omen teleport, but it is going to be, guess what, another A-site push. Kovac with the opening kill. CS Leaf will get one back, but he has to scramble without any real cover. Topaz trying to find an angle here, and he will onto Kovac, the ace player so far, but
last player standing.
The rest of his team does not fare any better, and it's all down to him. He does have that tour de force popped, but like Summer before him, he finds himself in a 1v3. You did see Sokka try and find him in mid. He's hit by the util. Timer's already ticking down. He's found nobody just yet. He's about to get swung on from... Oh! Well, they just jumped behind the wall, and Topaz is left all alone in sight as the spike goes off. Chico's back within 1.
Yeah, Chico Kovac is playing really well right now. 21-13 is the match MVP right now of this match, and Wrench, the second highest KD ratio in the match, or kills too, with 18 and 11. And Wrench does have this Hunter's Fury up, which is very devastating for the Raiders, as they don't really have any good ults to counter that. As Window's only 1 away from Knives, and CS leaves the teleport, but it seems like Chico owns this A site and kind of makes the Raiders aware as they rotate Summer to defend that site.
And Summer immediately has impact, but I guess we're just playing keep away from Summer because the minute he heads over to A, the spike starts to head towards B. But the Chico might be showing their rust for this B side attack. They've already lost 2. Make that 3 before Sokka finds trades. Riley
Spike down B.
also keeps things going, but CS Leaf answers, and now it's just Sokka on a B site that surely looks alien to him after all those A site pushes. But he's got the spike. He's just needs a good window to put it down. And with 3 Raiders out there waiting for an opportunity to attack their prey, that's no small feat for Sokka. Has been hit with the suppression. Ooh, spotted! CS Leaf just barely. But Tubby is there to cover for him. Wright State get their 2-point lead back and are 2 away from putting map 1 to bed.
The thing I want to point out is in these number advantages and post plants and just number advantages in general, both teams today have been very patient. We haven't seen any window super aggressive plays yet. I mean, he is not on the neon yet, but both teams have been patient. When they have the numbers advantage, they refuse the peak, and it's been working out for the teams, both of them.
Here.
Well, they lost the B site push and must have immediately thought, well, no more of that. We're going back to A site, but Summer remained on A site and gets another opening kill. Window trying to win a 1v1 with Kovac. Tubby there comes to back him up, but Wrench takes out Window to keep things even. Tubby is still trying to put up a fight against him, but Kovac takes out Topaz back on A site, and Sokka finds one of his own.
One enemy
Oh, but
remaining.
Summer goes huge for 3 and 4! A massive headshot! And Summer brings the Raiders within 1.
Chico got put in a blender in mid. This crossfire from Tubby and Summer in mid. Just sitting here around pillar and mid doors. It's just so hard to clear, and Summer just hitting every shot, and Tubby with the trade, the 1 kill, and that's just all she wrote for the Raiders, or for Chico, is you can't really stop that crossfire.
Yeah, that's an area that Chico
Coming through. I'm out of here.
have been able to use successfully in previous rounds, but Wright State able to find a perfect answer that time to put themselves on map point as Summer with a 3rd straight opening kill. The Viper's Pit does come down out of Chico with the plant down. And Wrench brings out another ultimate of his own, trying to find one, but can't find anything! And is able to take out Tubby after they traded out for Riley, but Topaz able to keep the man advantage in Wright State, and Wrench walks right past him, and that's all she wrote. It's another match on Breeze, and it's another victory for Wright State. 13-9, your final score. And they are 1 map away from moving on to the top 4 in this Nationals tournament.
Ooh, this is the least closest game we've had on Breeze for the Raiders so far that they've won. I mean, yeah, I'm used to being a 1-round difference. 9-13, still close, may I add. And as you see at the top of the scoreboard, it's not the Raiders. It's Kovac and Wrench are the top 2 ACS spots. They played so well today, have Kovac getting 7 first blood, and unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. As we look at the next 4 plays on the scoreboard, it is the most even scoreboard I've seen in a while for the Raiders. 19 kills, 18 kills, 18 kills, and 18 kills from it. Summer, Leaf, Tubby, and Topaz just all lined up there playing just so well off each other. I do also want to mention Tubby, 13 assists. Like, getting everyone just not having Chico not allowed to use their abilities this whole game, and Tubby is definitely that clutch situation earlier in the match is definitely something I want to go back on.
Yeah, it seems like every time Wright State need a clutch performance, it usually comes from Tubby. He's the guy who pulls out those like 1v2s, 1v3s in clutch situations to get an important round on the tally for Wright State. But that is all she wrote, but only for map number 1. Wright State are 1 map away, as I said, from advancing and eliminating the Chico Wildcats. But don't go away, because we will look to try and see them do that on map 2 in just a few short moments. Welcome back, Raider Nation. If you are just tuning in, it was business as usual on Breeze for Wright State, coming away with a 13-9 victory over the Chico Wildcats, and they will look to keep that momentum going to propel themselves straight into the top 4 here on Bind. Bind is a map we haven't seen the Raiders on too much this semester. But we do have the comps coming out right now. Wright State once again starting on offense. Window is starting off on the Rays, while we have Summer back on the Sky, and Topaz on the Sage. And it's a lot of champions we've seen them on before, but not in several weeks, Jabub. Yeah,
definitely. I remember actually last match that they did run the bind. They loved Tubby on that chamber, the double sentinel, and CS Leaf on the solo smoke. But Summer is back to his Sky, and Window on the Rays. We'll see how he does as Window yet maybe goes entire series without playing Neon.
That could be true. I'm always down for some unusual team comps, but Wright State looking to, as we said, the Bind isn't a map we've seen them on too much, but this is going to be Chico's map pick, so we'll have to see what tech they have to bust out here against Wright State to try and propel us to a map 3. But Wright State... we're looking to get into this one now, but there we are eventually.
Go, go, go!
It is worth noting that Chico, as we said, are out in California, so you have a bit of a ping difference, but it's not super significant. Other things to take note of is that the winner of this...
I'm out of here!
Right now, it's still a single elimination. The winner of this will move on, but after this match, there will be a third place game if everything does not go as to plan in the next round. So no matter what happens, if Wright State wins here, we will have 2 more matches for you next week. But before we can even think about that, we first have to take care of business here on Bind. Yeah, I'm starting to remember now. It's the Topaz already finding a pistol kill on the Wrench, but Riley answers. Things keep right on rolling with Wright State bringing the spike over to B site. After most of the action happens on A, there are 2 members defending here for the Wildcats, but the plant goes down without any issues. Topaz has been lightly chunked down, and Kovac was trying to make his way on in, but the util made him think otherwise. Sokka trying to find CS Leaf here inside the box. Action going on elsewhere in the site as both Harsh and Sokka have made their way in. Topaz finds a third, gives up his side to Sokka, trying to heal himself, but can't get his gun back out in time.
No more distractions.
And Sokka will have enough time to defuse here, and that will be back-to-back pistol rounds for Chico.
For y'all those in chat, I'm not answering that question. However, great round by Chico. I mean, you got the pistol. Sokka with the clutch has 3 kills on the round. Great round from him and Topaz, just trading, and unfortunately it just wasn't meant for Topaz to get that 4K. As now, I mean, Raiders are 2 rounds, maybe 2 orbs away from a stage res so early on in the game, but you see Tubby force an outlaw. Kind of unorthodox to have just Tubby forced for the Raiders after they lose pistol, but kind of an investment you might need to make.
He's trying. Kovac also had an outlaw of his own, but CS Leaf will find the kill with his pistol. Now Tubby looking for an angle here on the outlaw, almost with the opening one, but able to bounce back to find the kill onto Sokka to give Wright State a 2-man advantage as they look to press in on B site once again. Just kidding, they teleport back over to A site where only one member is immediately defending. It's Riley on the Neon. He's blasted away by the util. A window walks right into the util to meet him. But the minute he exits, he walks right into a Wright State firing squad. Harsh is trying to advance towards the spike. Might find the back of a Wright State member here, but there's so much smoke in the area. Can't find anything, and he also walks straight into the claws of the Raiders. And now Wrench has been cubed away, all the way from the spike here. And Summer swoops in to deal with them the minute that it is knocked down. Wright State equalize.
Great idea from Tubby, and worked out. You have the solo outlaw and on an eco. I mean, you just lost pistol. You don't really have any weapons, and you go into a team that has light weapons that can definitely just buy some better weaponry than you, and it doesn't work out in their favor. Kovac loses a crucial duel with the Marshal up in B long, and it kind of just snowballs from there, where the Raiders can TP over, and Tubby gets one, and the round just fell apart.
Bring them down.
Well, it's two members pushing towards A, but a three-man push from the defense will cause an opening trade. Riley got one before going down. Wright State rotating away from B site. But the three members of the Wildcats still getting very aggressive on their push. Wright State half identified it and are moving towards the relatively undefended A site. Only Saka there, and he's got the pistol and just waiting for Wright State, though, having all four of their members exit the site. Tubby looking to try and play gatekeeper to try and catch two of the outlaws on the rotation. He will find one. Harsh trying to look for trying to wait Tubby out, will not. And the rest of the Raiders clean up shop and get their second round here on mind.
Yeah, Tubby with that outlaw is just what you need to see every round. I mean, it's going to be effectful, really good again, as you have Harsh with the light shield. It's going to be a one shot to the body, but as the rest of the team is like, I'm scared of this outlaw. Wrench opting for the Guardian full shield instead of a Vandal light shield. So, I mean, definitely the Raiders do have this advantage, and if Tubby dies this next round, you can get an off.
Yeah, Tubby's building up a nice economy for himself with the Force Outlaw working wonders. Summer pushing through with his rifle will chip a Wildcat down, but wasn't prepared for a second member to be there. CS Leaf will find an equalizer.
As that has pulled the defenders off of the B side, where the Raiders are now grouping up to hit.
It's a great read so far from the Raiders. Only Kovac left to defend with the shotgun. And Wright State have identified this. The only person left in the vicinity was Topaz, and he's rotating back around, but Kovac catches CS Leaf with that shotgun.
Stim beacon here.
The plant is going down, but the rotation is coming through quick. Topaz and Window are the only ones on site, and Window is down to a hair. Is taken out, leaving only Topaz.
One enemy remaining.
Tubby. Tubby is rotating over, but is taken out, and Topaz falls alongside him. And the Wildcats tie the game.
I mean, great run by Kovac and Saka just to hold that site, especially just Kovac. Hearing CS Leaf to get those smokes down and then try to walk away, and CS Leaf was just caught off guard and turned that judge into a phantom, which just snowballed the round, where Kovac just all this presence and that hookah position kind of made the Raiders panic and drop back to long, where they could just take site for free.
Now, Wright State spreading things out. same as the Wildcats are. There's really no mid area to speak of besides that teleport option in mid.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird map where it really doesn't have a mid, and you just go through the outside, or kind of like A mid or B mid. It's kind of an odd map, but
we still have Kovac watching in that B mid, and he will get the opening kill on the CS Leaf. Tubby has popped his tour de force. Window able to chip someone down. Keeps things going and gets the Sage res from Topaz. Just try and seal the deal on this one, but Harsh is already getting chipped down in the 2v4 with the spike being planted. Harsh with barely an HP to work with. Tubby will find one with the tour de force. Sokka able to at least try and keep the hopes of coming back in this one alive, but he is stuck in the back of B site with 3 Raiders to deal with. Tubby whiffs the shot, but Summer will clean it up. Wright State move back into the lead.
yeah, I like to mention, we haven't seen the dominance of Wrench on this map. He's looking so good on that Sova on Breeze, and now Wrench is coming off to a hard, like, not really a great start, and the Raiders are kind of taking advantage of this, as losing Pistol has kind of only led them to only one more round and the half so far, and the Raiders definitely have the economy to go for the long run, as Chico does not.
Now that you've said that, it seems like every time yesterday we said someone was struggling, they immediately began to do better. So, Kovac with a tour de force of his own. We'll have to see if the Jabub Jinx will help the Wildcats out here. But they do have even more ults to play with, even after the tour de force is popped.
This push from Sokka could be deadly on the Tubby if he comes back, unless Tubby's slow clearing this, so very unsure.
I've got your trail.
There is only one defender on B, but Wrench is getting 2 on B, excuse me, but now I'm right again. It's 1 left after that kill on B site. Topaz will get the plant down. Summer is watching the entrance to the back of that site, and Tubby with Sokka. Riley jumping through on the Neon, but the tour de force finds a second. Trying to keep the Raiders out of the site. Tubby will be the 3rd victim of Kovac as he looks for an ace here, but time is working against him, and he is now all by himself. He had a good shot towards Topaz, but had to go for the spike, and Topaz will punish him for that. Wright State double their lead.
Remember that.
Great round from Tubby, just to be so patient on Sokka to lurk up behind, and Summer just getting in sight, getting a few kills, and getting that spike down is really big, but Kovac almost brought it back into the round. Kind of messed with their econ a little bit, but Topaz still sitting comfortable at 72,000 credits.
Bring them down.
Wright State looking for an ace site push! Summer almost got 2 before going down, but will at least get 1, but the rest of the team not faring. Oh, they're starting to turn around now, but Sokka keeps things even.
Bomb buddy out.
Wright State have taken A site for themselves with the spike down. They will rotate back towards A long, not A mid. The opposite of A mid.
We like to call that showers. They are showers.
Just 2 bros camping in the showers.
5 feet apart. I mean,
Util going down to pressure the
One
Wildcats
enemy
away
remaining.
from the spike. Kovac will find one, but cannot find anything else. CS Leaf will get the credit for the clutch to seal the deal for Wright State for their 5th round win. Great usage of the util to pressure them away. They had no time left, even with Kovac getting that kill, Jabub.
Yeah, even with Kovac getting that kill, and we're gonna see our first timeout of the day called by Wrench as, yeah, like, they snowballed. I mean, they've only got 2 rounds. They lost pistol. They don't have a great economy, and it's just, the Raiders have just been on top of it this map, even though it is CSU's or the Chico's map pick. Tubby and Summer and Topaz are just hard to deal with, especially Topaz. I feel like every single one of their takes has been dealt trying to do their fast retake with Riley, and it's just stopped by a sage wall. It's hard to deal with that sage wall in sight, especially if you don't know if it's behind a brim smoke or not. And yeah.
And the caster Jinx has done nothing to help Wrench so far. He's still looking for his first kill, 7 rounds deep.
But to be fair to Wrench, he does have 9 assists. He is helping the team and trying to flash them off so if Kovac can get a couple kills. But just fortunately, the bullets aren't finding today or this map. So.
Speaking of flashing things off, he does have his ult ready. But Window jumps through with the shotgun. We'll double up with the help of CS Leaf. And just like that, we're down to 1 Wildcat standing as Window gets healed up. And Harsh has no prayer here. The util is going to wear him down. Wright State get their 6th here on Bind.
Yeah. It went all so down so fast in the A site, and then we look up, and it's just Harsh remaining with the Sage Wall, and there's only 1 place left for him to go, and 4 members of Wright State are there. Great round from Tubby, getting, I believe it was 2 or 3 in sight, and I don't know, you can't stop this man. He's 11-4, he's feeling himself on Chamber.
Feels like he's really unlocked another level as we get deeper into playoff season here. There are 2 ults available, but one is the Sky ult, which you can get some good util down, but Summer is getting chased at, but they don't have a mag to finish him off. Meanwhile, CS Leaf finds something else on the other side of the map. Harsh, though, might find good timing to get some revenge here, but no such luck. I say they're bringing the spike back towards B site, but they might be thinking of a... No, they're sending their util in. They are going for that B site push. Riley gets stunned up by a dog and takes a shotgun blast to the dome. Hellfire coming down from Harsh, but hasn't found much of anything. He's just spraying and praying at this point. The util comes down, but on time, and Tubby finds 2 out in mid before going down. Or the closest thing we have to mid, at least. Now it's all down to Harsh yet again in this util. Making it very hard, and they know exactly where he is thanks to that Sky Bird. Harsh might just want to save here. Yeah, their economy's already not doing well, and he's down to very little HP with the timer ticking. Just going to try and hunker down here in a corner and hope he can make it out of the round, but the dogs are coming out.
Taken down.
But he'll take one down on his way out. Should be able to survive the rest of the way here. Oh, no, he won't. CS Leaf will find him just before the round ends, denying that extra gun. Wright State looking unstoppable here so far on Bind.
I mean, Tubby with another multi-kill, I can't say it enough, and Topaz already back with another Breads available, as there was one used already, and I mean, we're 9 rounds in. It's a pretty, it's an 8 orb ult, I believe. It's 8 or 9, and it's pretty expensive, and
the Tour de Force.
it's pretty hard to get. But yeah, the Tour de Force is not invested, but Topaz gets one on the Kovac.
As the push on the B site comes down, Topaz throwing his walls down to make the retake that much harder. The plant comes out, and the rotate coming down. Sky ult trying to buy some intel here. Riley just trying to run through and find something, but he is blind as a bat. Wrench trying to make something out of nothing, but he will not.
Bring them down.
Now it's just 2 remaining Wildcats. Make that 1 remain. Make that 0. It's a flawless round as the remaining defenders are taken out in the back of the site. 8-2. This is the biggest lead we've seen for the Raiders in quite some time, Jabub.
Yeah, it's just complete dominance. And Tubby, another multi-kill. You don't need to do anything when Tubby's just getting all these kills, and I mean, if I'm Chico, I might be calling another timeout here to be like, hey, we need to do something completely different. Maybe get these last 2 rounds of the half just for us. Otherwise, I mean, we have little mistakes that we can work with here. But as we have Kovac with the Tour de Force, and last time he had this, he did a lot of work with it, so see if he can do it again.
It is the only ult available for his team. Tour de Force not answered by... Tubby might just not need it. He's already got 1. Util trying to keep him off of the site. Sage Rez also still up. Tubby seems to know there's somebody in there. They're trying to hunt him down, but that's just another multi-kill for Tubby.
Now, as long as the Raiders don't go to this U-Haul position, they should be perfectly fine to get this plant.
Seem to be headed towards A. Riley flashed down, but will find Summer. Just trying to keep himself alive. He'll double up on the window. And just like that, Wildcats are back into this one, but not quite out of the woods yet. CS Leaf finds a kill for himself back in B mid. The remaining 2 Wildcats are in the back of A. Kovac still up with his Tour de Force. Hasn't been able to put it to good use quite yet, and now he's all by himself. With that timer ticking down, he will find his first kill onto Tubby. But he's got a long way to go with not a lot of time to do it. Pistol back out, and he will not get the better of the Raiders that time. Wright State, a 7-round lead here on their opponent's map pick.
Let it ride.
Let it ride. I mean, I guess the caster curse didn't really work on Wrench. I'm sorry, Wrench. I tried to help you out. It just wasn't meant to be, but I mean, still, what is that? 7 rounds straight for the Raiders, and Toby pops his Tour de Force since it's the last round of the half. There's no reason why you wouldn't be popping it. You have an opto from Kovac. Might be deadly here.
It will be deadly indeed. That's the first opening kill that Wildcats have had in a while. But they do have the Sage ult. They will burn it. Might as well. Last one in the half. Summer's back on his feet. Dog will give them utils to Kovac. Kovac will even be stunned up.
And walled
yeah,
off.
Walled off. Summer burns air. Oh, but Wrench doubles up! Right when we said something, but Topaz and then Tubby back in action, this time with a rifle, not the Tour de Force that he has available.
But it seems like the Raiders fell back and tried to make Chico think they're gonna rotate as I see Sokka on the other side of the map kind of step back and start to anchor the site.
30 seconds
And
left.
as we see a member of Harsh rotating to A, and the Raiders just haven't moved in long.
Kovac is still on B site, and if the Wildcats want anybody defending that site, it's likely going to be their ace from last map. Wright State is running out of time, but he'll walk right through! He will deny the plant! CS Leaf just has to try and go for it, but Harsh will deny him, and that's all she wrote. The Raiders run out of time, and at the very least, the Wildcats will get something back to end the half. But that is just a drop in the big bucket of a lead that they have to come back from.
There you go. Range comes alive, gets around for Chico. I mean, Chico really need to see Reg turn on his game here in the second half, as they are now on attack, which this is going to be a hard attack versus 2 Sentinels and CS Leaf. I mean, it's kind of hard to deal with them already, and now you have Sentinel you totally have to deal with, especially on a defensive-sided map. But you do have Riley, who literally will just run, be aggressive as possible with these wrench flashes, and maybe see what they can do. But as they push the stacked B site,
Stacked B site that already has a Sage wall up. They have to poke through it.
Gotta go.
Topaz knows exactly where they're coming from. Riley runs into his death, and CS Leaf able to find a trade before he falls, but Wrench finds his 3rd kill of the map.
looks like they're gonna back up and go A.
Swinging back to a completely, as of yet, undefended A site, but Window is rotating over. Might be able to delay the plant here.
Satchel out.
Satchel out, jumps over, but can't find the damage with the shotgun. Now Tubby is trying to find something here to avoid losing a 3rd straight pistol round to the Wildcats. Plant is down. 2 members, though, of the Wildcats offense are down to low. Make that 3, make that 2 again after Topaz chips Kovac down from behind the box. The swing comes down from Wrench, but Tubby deals with it, and he'll deal with the other remaining Wildcat. And just when you thought they might be in trouble there in that pistol round, they lock in and go to double digits.
Tubby's just looking like he's just having a fun time over there in the player camps, and he gets very impactful kills. It was a 2v3, and Topaz and Tubby, and close out that round that Chico very desperately needed, and now the Raiders have another pretty much round. But if you're Chico, you gotta force this round. You gotta play for it's not for overtime. They push into this B site with only 2 R.
Smoke's down.
Make a full push into B. All 5 members demolish the wall, but the blind comes through to find one, but someone will find, but the rest of the team swoops in. Sage will be able to heal themselves back up to give Wright State a full man advantage as Wrench goes for the plant. Window jumps in, let it ride!
Let it ride. Window, just a judge out of the sky. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to do about that. He's with the weapon. It's a spirit animal.
His favorite judge. I do want to see the Odin at some point, though. But Wright State are ahead 11-3, so I can't complain at all. And it is going to be the moment where the second and potentially final timeout of the evening for the Wildcats will be burned. This is the biggest lead, once again, that the Raiders have had in quite some time. Do you think the Wildcats have any chance of coming back?
They got to win this round. They got to try to break the Raiders' economy, and this round would be a huge step towards it. But Tubby with the Outlaw is going to be a menace on their side, as I don't think that many players on the team are going to buy full shields this round. They might choose to play for overtime, but you could force 3 rounds in a row and just not always be one shot to this outlaw, which is something I would not recommend. But you see, I mean, Wrench, I'm sorry, man, you pied. I wish this map could go better for you, but it just wasn't it. And I mean, the Raiders, it's just Tubby. He's just playing too well. Like, someone check his PC.
We just need Wrench to get 5 more assists without getting a kill or a death. And we'll have perfect pie. But we know how deadly Tubby has been this whole map with that outlaw.
Fortunately for Chico, they're not going towards Tubby's site. Instead, they have to deal with Topaz's wall again. With a judge.
We'll have to bust through it, and that judge will be as lethal as expected. And Summer, backing them up, completely dismantles the offense.
I'm shocked that Riley had the spike there long, but pushing up that far, being that aggressive Neon, but Suck gets a pick on the on the Tubby, the top frag. They get this pick on the window. They have a free A site.
Weapon here.
Free A site.
But they don't have the bomb.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. Wright State is currently standing right on the bomb that they need in order to win the game. So, great kills from the 2 of them, but they've got a long way to go here with 40 seconds on the clock. They're trying to rotate behind the Raiders, and CS Leaf just started looking behind him.
30 seconds left.
Yes, he's staring right at the entrance, and Kovac has no idea. And that will be the Raiders moving to 9 match points.
Match point.
It's what's the word for 9? For like, whatever. It's 9 straight match points on the docket for the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, they got 9 rounds to play with. And look at they all bought full shields. The side of Chico just does not want to do with this outlaw, which Tubby does not have anymore, because Tubby fell in the last round, so he can upgrade to that Phantom as they push Tubby in the showers position. But Riley with 1 on the Guardian, good entry kill, and another.
Dashing around, but Window will find one with the judge. But Sokka will trade him out, and Kovac will keep things running. It's all down to Topaz.
Topaz can get a res here. Maybe get a safe res in here and try to go for this round. Let's see if he opts to.
Doesn't seem to be backing down. Sokka is going to be shielded by the util. Topaz is just looking through here, but he's not gonna see Kovac coming from the other angle. And that's 1 on the board for the Wildcats as they try to make this 9 straight run climb.
Yeah, I mean, if you gotta start somewhere to go on this comeback, as they do break the Raiders' economy, and it is only Summer with that Phantom, and the rest of Wright State doesn't really have any weaponry to play with. No tour de force in sight for them, and yeah, I mean, this is definitely a stepping stone for Chico to come back in this game, especially with Wrench with an good info ult, as Riley pops the Neon ult.
Well, coming down, running through, hasn't found anything of note yet, as his teammates will swoop in to a site. Might have some action going on as, yeah, Topaz is found by 2 Wildcats. Things keep rolling. Tubby only had a pistol that time. Might be a perfect round here. The window is chipped down. It is a perfect round. And they're chipping away at that economy just like you thought they could, Jibub.
Yeah, they definitely can, and We're gonna see the Odin from window, as you said. We're gonna see it.
Just as I asked.
Just gonna clear out the game. Just try to finish the game here with that Odin, but definitely the Raiders' game plan going into this round. So let's just get the bomb down. CS Leaf has the ult, post plant, Topaz has the res, and then Summer can definitely get in the site with his ult. But it would be really nice for Chico if Harsh can get their ult on the brim, but I flipped up the side, so. As CS Leaf there, not attacking.
They are keeping the offense at bay. Meanwhile, the spike is rotating back towards B as they teleport through mid. They're going to a site that is only defended by Topaz. He's just shooting through the wall to try and buy some time for his teammate to show up, but he is getting pinched straight into that box. The Hellfire ult does come down, but Sokka will keep things going in favor of the Wildcats. Summer finds 2, but Hellfire is answered. Now it's all up to Summer, and he will not find much. That's 3 straight rounds now. They still have a mountain of 6 rounds to climb if they want to force the Raiders into overtime.
Yeah, if I'm the Raiders here, I'd maybe call a timeout, but from prior matches, they didn't really like calling timeouts as they just go with the flow and they're just chilling. However, I mean, you got another broken economy again. Try to just cool things down. Like, hey, we got rounds to play with, but let's end this next round when we get guns here. Or maybe this round if possible, as we have a 4-man A push with Summer alone on B.
Kovac comes through, almost gets tailed, but he takes 2 with Harsh at his back, and they're continuing this push and continuing to find success. Wright State were unprepared. Now the Utah coming down to make Tubby's life hard in the site. Stands around trying to find an entry, and now he stands alone with the plant coming down. And plenty of time to do so. Utah will let them know exactly where they are, and that's a lot of rifles in his way of trying to get anything done here. Probably just looking for a few kills here. Try and get some economy back, but he will find 1 before going down, but no more than that. And the Wildcats are coming storming back. The Wright State have 4 ults to work with in the upcoming round, and are looking for a full buy here.
Yeah, they're back on a gun round, and yeah, you have the Raiders who won the bonus, but then Chico just coming back 4 rounds straight. Wrench getting a couple kills on the board, going back to his normal self that we saw on Breeze, but the Raiders with 4 ults, it's just going to be hard for them to attack the sites with Topaz again long.
This time it is going to be a B push. But Wright State have 3 members over there, but it hasn't mattered yet. CS Leaf just running for his life, but will run straight into the jaws of Riley. The defense is completely melted down by the Wildcats.
Spike planted.
Don't look now. They didn't use any ults during it, but Wright State might be giving up a 5th straight round here. And I think they are. I think the remaining Raiders standing are just looking to save here.
Yeah, they're definitely looking to save.
Teleport's ready.
I would maybe like to see from the Raiders a little bit of a site change up of maybe putting Tubby in the B long position and moving Topaz to A. Maybe switch something up to where Chico can't just run down Topaz, or just can't run down Tubby when he has the Tour de Force in his pocket, as he will probably give up the Vandal to one of his teammates that perished this round. But so you see maybe a couple ults going to come out from the Raiders in this next round, but not this round, as Chico gets this round and cuts it down to 4.
And there's the first timeout we've seen out of the Raiders in a very long time.
probably all season, I'm going to be honest. I've never seen him take a timeout like this. Maybe in the first Robert Morris matchup, but this might be the first time ever as they talk about what they want to do.
What they want to do to just find one more here. Their 9-round lead is quickly starting to crumble, now only 4 rounds long. They're still hoarding those ultimates, but...
Yeah, we've definitely seen an influx of just Chico. Just players just start believing, getting their confidence back. Riley's been a difference making a lot of space on this attack half. And Harsh. Harsh I've seen get a couple of really good kills on site just to open the site up, and it's just been really good lately for the last 5 rounds. You got a max economy, but you have to win every round, so economy doesn't really matter for them too much, as if they lose, it's over.
They are so
Yep, and they have the economy to just full buy every round anyway.
I don't know. The Raiders can't be listening to me through the mic, but they listened. What I thought we were going to do is Tubby switch over to this B position and play on this B site while Topaz plays that A.
Speaking of Tubby, he has popped his tour de force here. He was off to a great start, but Wright State as a whole has started to cool off. Just gotta find that one more, but sometimes it's that mindset that can kill you. Tubby waiting for a head to poke out. Can't find it anywhere.
launching smoke.
Smoke coming down. Spike is in the vicinity of A once more.
Yeah, it's just a stalemate. Everyone's going
There we go. Topaz finds the opening kill for Wright State. Topaz knows more's coming through. The Razor will find one more, but Harsh
remaining.
does
Spike
work
down A.
to find 2 before going down, but now it is all in the hands of Wrench to keep their overtime dreams alive
30 seconds left.
against the heart of the Wright State lineup, and he will crumble. Wright State will advance to the top 4, and we will see you next week.
What a match on Vine. So dominant in that attack half. It got a little shaky on the defensive half, but the Raiders were able to close that out and take it and just take their map pick.
They had to make us sweat for it at least a little bit, but it's still, all things considered, a relatively comfortable 13-8 victory on map 2 and a 2-0 series win over the Chico, Chico Wildcats. And now a big performance from Tubby. Big performance. I think the best performance he's had in quite some time. He looked unstoppable with that outlaw and other snipers he was equipped with.
Yeah, definitely this match and the last match. Tubby's have a great streak of matches we've seen, and CS Leaf definitely showed up today in this match, going 17-11, being in that top echelon of players on the scoreboard. And as you see again, I mean, it's these same 4 Raiders. Both maps are in the upper half of the scoreboard, all around the same amount of kills and delivering the same amount of impact. Like, a lot of impact coming from CS Lee's Summer, Topaz, Tubby, just a lot. And I mean, shout out, I mean, good playing from Chico. I mean, you got Kovac, who top frag the first map and second frag the second map. Overall, played really well this match. I mean, congratulations to Chico making it this far, but unfortunately, your run has ended.
Ended at the hands of the Wright State Raiders, who, as a reminder, we are guaranteed 2 more series next week due to there being a 3rd place match for the final week of Valorant here for us. But we can't wait to share it with you all next week. It looks like we're going to be... Do we know who?
Yes. So we are playing Monday, April 27th, which is next Monday, Right now it is at 8 p.m. EST. It may be subject to change, but we do play against John Brown University Gold.
Gold, they are the 3 seed of this tournament, Wright State being the number 2, so we can't wait for that match. Will surely be one heck of a banger to try and decide who will advance to the national finals for Division 6. But until then, this has been RJ and Jabub with the Wright State Esports Club saying so long and Raider up!